1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, sure rock to see it, and I hope you guys enjoyed that little intro. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and liking the video for more quality content. And that also helps the channel grow. But with all of that, let's get started. So we begin by naming a player character. I named him E because I'll be doing 5 challenges. 3 Yu-Gi-Oh games, 1 Zelda game, and 1 Pokemon game. Now the main reason I named E because my name has 5 letters in it. So I decided to actually do 5 challenges, just like I said prior. So then you guys can actually figure out my names, because if you check all of the videos, you will find out my name and figure out what's my real name in real life. Also because I just felt like I'll tell you guys something about me in a way, just a little more like hidden-ish in a way. I don't know how to explain that, but just so you guys can actually find out my real name. And also the first letter in my name was J, and the second letter in my name right now is the E. So you guys can just find that out. But with all of that, let's continue. Oh, before I forget, here are the rules. I can only use the starter deck, aka the deck that I start with. I can't add cards to the deck. I can only use the cards in my deck in tag duels. And turbo duels gets the first and the second rule because tag turbo duels don't exist. And with that, let's continue. After naming our character, we get to see cutscenes of events that are happening or just happened, I think, because the game really doesn't specify. But anyway, we begin by seeing a vision of someone calling for help. What was the culture? Siri and Sarah were talking about me possibly being able to communicate with the spirit world. While they were talking, I started to wake up. After I woke up, Sarah took me to the room they'll be staying in, and also the deck that I'll be using for this challenge. Well, one of the decks that I'm gonna be using for this challenge. Now, the main reason I'm saying decks, because later on, not that far later on, you're gonna basically get another deck, which is the deck that you used in the past. So basically, you're gonna fall unconscious at one point in the game, and you're gonna play through your past events. Now, I didn't consider this part as cheating at all because, well, the main reason is it's a memory. I'm basically I'm not interacting with the physical world. I'm just remembering things that happened in the past, so it doesn't physically connect. But at the same time, someone can just be like, oh, it's cheating. And the main reason I made the rule that I can only use the starter deck, aka the deck that I start with, so there's like no extra loopholes in the game. But this happened, and I was like, oh crap, I didn't see this one coming. So I was stuck in a scenario where I was like, okay, let me just figure out how I'm gonna do this. So I decided to not consider that point in the game as cheating at all. I'm gonna just be like, oh no, it's not cheating. I'm not gonna count that out or anything. This is basically also for anyone who's trying to do this challenge. And the second part is I actually lost most of the editing that I did for the video, so I'm basically doing this part right now because I'm really not in the mood for sitting about 4 hours making back all of the stuff that I lost, because my phone turned off and all of the all of the save editing and stuff I had was just gone, and I gotta start from scratch. But mostly I just want to summarize this point because there's literally nothing interesting from the beginning of the game. Just basically me waking up, doing some stuff for Sire and crap, and literally nothing that intriguing at all. Like literally there's nothing intriguing at all. And I just want to basically jump towards the beginning of the game where things get actually really interesting and fun and more intriguing, except for like the prologue where things are just like showing, you know. But with that, let's basically let's continue and just see how it goes. Now, basically, after I get to the room with 2 guys that I don't even care about, I mean, who cares? Then Sarah comes along and he's like, oh, can you help this girl out because reasons? And I'm like, okay. Then we basically infiltrate the fortune cup or something. I don't know. I just woke up. And I had to go through a puzzle that I did not totally reset. But, well, we just basically got there. We did stuff. No, actually, we didn't do a thing. We just got there. The girl lost. I think her name was Akiza. I mean, I don't care. She lost or some crap, and Sarah was like, "Oh, the plan is done." And I'm like, "Bro, why? I could have been napping for like 20 minutes, and you just brought me for this." And then a guy with goons was like, "Oh, we're gonna just like stop you for reasons." I don't even know what's going on. I just woke up after a few minutes ago, and this is happening. Like, what? Imagine being in this scenario yourself, dude. You just woke up from God knows how long you were sleeping, and then the boss is like, oh, you gotta do this and that and those and like 50 things now. Like, I'm like, dude, I just woke up. But after all of that, I defeated the goons in the first try, and there was nothing. I mean, come on, I'm a genius at Yu-Gi-Oh! I defeated those guys. I basically went back to the facility. Then the next day, there were some trainings. Now we get to one of the most dumbest fails in the whole challenge. Now, this part is basically the whole training part. So I gotta do two things. The first one, I gotta finish some puzzles, which is not actually that important. There's really no benefit except for combos, but I can just search it up. I mean, come on. We live in a world where we can duel with motorcycles. I mean, that's crazy. And if you look at Zexel, we can basically hit each other with holograms. I mean, look at that. Did you guys see the gimmicky puppets and how it broke that guy's bones? Yeah, we know. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. So that's basically it. And another one, which is the dumbest one, I gotta fight a girl with Stardecks, and I gotta beat her 3 times with different Stardecks. And I'm like, what's the point in the game? Well, I have to actually use a structured deck. Like, wouldn't it be better if I use my main deck against structured decks, so I can basically become better at finding different decks? Because then I'll be way more prepared than just using random deck, and okay, let's fight. Like, ugh. But okay, so I just continue before I'm still annoyed about that part. Like, so early I lost this challenge, but let's just continue. And from this point on also, I'm gonna basically going with scripts and stuff, and I really change between no script or script. So yeah, let's continue. After finishing the training, Sai came to ask me to come with him to help Akiza out. After losing against Akiza and being yeeted to the other side of the room, Akiza came to see if I was okay, but Sai told her I was fine. After that, I went to my room to take a nap. On the next day, Lika told me that today I started my dual runner training. So with that info, I went to the highway to begin my training. After finishing the highway, me and Lika were leaving until we met up with Yossi, and seeing him made me remember something. While I was in my head for a second, Sari came in to stop Yossi from interfering and asked Lika to take me home. After that, I think I felt unconscious for me to be in this room. While I was unconscious, Siri and Sari were talking about me being brainwashed and that the brainwashing is fading. But I couldn't hear them anymore. I started to remember something from the past, and with that, we get to chapter 2. We begin by waking up in a place not familiar to us, and meeting someone we don't know. He started talking to me, but I was confused. He also was confused why I was like that. And he told me, "Don't you remember me? I'm Crow Hogan," and asked if I was okay. Plus to tell me where the depths of Satellite, aka the bad area. After knowing who he is and knowing where we are, he asked to duel me so I can feel a little more comfortable, but our decks were confiscated yesterday. So it's my job to infiltrate the sector security facility and get them back. So he gave me an ID and some security clothes. But I'll need a distraction so that I can get in. Thanks to the distraction, I got in and got our decks back without any problems. After getting the decks back, a kid came to ask me to duel, so I accepted. Now, most of the duels to this point is actually incredibly easy. I mean, Callan was easy, no one was actually tough at all. Basically, we get to our first ever turf war, which against Team Black and Blue. Now, they were crazy easy. The first 2 lackeys were no problem. When the boss was actually scary because he had a rule about drawing 2 cards, and I was scared that he has an Exodia deck. Like, I pray to God he doesn't, and he didn't. And I was like, oh thank God, because I was scared because he drew like at least 3 cards his first turn, and I was really scared. But he didn't, which I'm so thankful for that. After we defeated Team in Black and Blue, me and Crow basically went straight to our house. But when we were going there, a little girl came to tell us that the kid that I dueled prior actually was kidnapped by some guys in a duel runner. And after that, me and Crow chased after them, we caught up to them, and we just mopped the floor with them. Which, I mean, hello, I mean, do you know who I am? I'm a skilled player, man. These guys have nothing. After basically beating them, me and Crow were a little mad about what they did. We told Callan about everything, and he was like, okay, that's perfect, then we can just fight them. So we basically go to our second turf Earth against Team, I don't even remember their name, I didn't even care because they're like irrelevant. But basically what happened was we went in there, we had no problems. I defeated, you know what's funny? If you look at this image right now, this is actually what happened in the game. I can even show you guys footage of my reaction. Like, look at that footage.
That's the most terrible glitch I've seen ever, dude. Oh my god, look at that. That looks hilarious, man. Oh my god, no.
Like, yeah, you guys can tell, right? I wonder how it happened. My guess is probably when I basically got into the building, the game didn't load perfectly, and a little glitch came out, probably his hand. The game didn't load the whole character inside, probably just moved a little bit. I don't know. but that was funny. But I basically got him out, sweep the floor with him, save Yosei, sweep the floor with another guy who was like, oh, I'm gonna just kill someone because, hey, I'm chose chicken to play a children's card game. Like, what? You should just duel like normal, but no, they're just chickens. But I defeated the living crap out of them. Then there's their boss, who was pretty much trash. Yeah, he was trash. All of them were just garbage. They don't have a chance against me. Like real legitimately, no. Let's just continue. Just no. After beating those guys, my confidence got a huge boost. I mean, think about it. Imagine defeating 7 opponents in a row without breaking a sweat. That was just crazy. But with that confidence came my downfall. So what happened was, after basically we defeated the team, Callan called us telling us, okay, we got one more heretics to basically conquer, and then we conquered all of Satellite. He told us to get ready and stuff. So what happened was, when I was walking around, Callan came, you defeated the last boss, so I want to actually fight you so I can basically like redeem myself from not actually fighting him myself. I went up against him and I was like, oh yeah, I can beat you. And he basically he whooped me super hard. I lost against him twice. But the third time I came in and I won thanks to luck or something. I think third time's a charm. But after beating him, I basically went to Crow's house, and basically he was like, okay, I'm ready for this. Let's try my new deck. He wanted to try it. I was actually scared because I'm terrible when it comes against Crow. Like, I can never find a way to beat him because he's pretty strong. He always gets to me. But I managed to get lucky the first try and I managed to beat him. After beating him, Callan came telling us that tomorrow we're gonna fight against our next team members, which is again Team Non-Securities, and he told us to basically get prepared for that battle. After Callan left, we basically got our first tag duel. Don't worry, I didn't use Crow's cards. I made sure I didn't use them. After basically finishing the tag duel, we basically go to the next and the final of the team battles against Team Non-Securities. Now, these guys don't actually have bad because, well, you fight 2 of them against yourself, so basically it's 1v2, which is kind of funny. But after basically losing against the first two times in a row, the third time I came in and I basically managed to win. I just needed to just learn their strategies and basically come in. I mean, of course I'm gonna lose. I'm fighting against 2 people at the same time. That's crazy with a deck that's so bad. But after beating them, we basically go against another one. I lost against the other guys actually 3 times, and the 4th I basically came in and I won, which is kinda weird. I wonder if that's like a hint for something. After beating those guys, we got to their boss. Now their boss did a dick move by actually setting a trap so Yosei can fall, and then Callan basically is trying to bring him back so he doesn't fall and die. So with that, he was actually trying to push them down so they could just fall and die, but I was there to stop them, and I was pissed. I was like, dude, that's the dickest move I've ever seen. We're playing a chiller's card game here, relax, Jesus Christ. So I saved, went up against them, and now I forgot about this, but actually every boss has their special rules. The special rule is that I start the duel with only 4,000 life points. And you know what sucks even more? He plays the legendary samurai deck. Now that deck is pretty much broken because he's like, oh, 1 monster card, oh cool, oh another one, oh another one, oh another one, and brings multiple monster cards on the field like, oh, he can. And you know what sucks even more? He has Ultimate Offering, a card that's so broken it makes Pot of Greed blush, and I'm not even hitting. I lost against him about 5 times. The 6th time I came in and I won, thank God, and I was so lucky. I was hoping to God I just get the cards that I need and basically just overwhelm with power and just win. But I'm thankful to God for beating him. After beating him, we basically finally defeated all of the bosses and we conquered all of Satellite. With that, we start our celebration. Bring all the confetti! Yes! Alright, now let's continue. After all of that, I basically dueled against Yosei and Jack. I won against Yosei, I lost against Jack. After that, I went outside so I can take some fresh air. Then I saw Callan basically getting up on a child and basically being a bully. So I went inside and told Crow, Jack, and Yosei what's going on. And then Crow just came in and pushed Callan and telling the kid to run away, get out of here. So we basically wanted to know what the heck is going on. Why did he do that? Callan was like, oh, I'm gonna weed out the weak because we have to and stuff. But Crow, Jack, and me didn't like that, so all 3 of us just went, and basically the next day came by. Crow was talking about someone who did something. I'm like, I don't care. And then a little kid came to telling us that basically Callan is fighting against some security members alone, so we gotta actually go help him out. So Crow told me to actually go call Jack and Yosei. So I basically went, called both of them, and Crow came in, we got a plan so we can go save them and basically Kellen is fighting some securities, the old hider of Team Black and Blue. We went there, Kellen was like, okay, let's fight all of them, we can totally take them down, no problem. And we were like, no, we gotta get out of here fast, things are gonna get serious. We got out of there, and then basically what happened was Jack told us, oh, we gotta lay low here, we gotta be extra quiet because things are too hot right now. But then the securities came in, came to our hideout, and basically were trying to take us in. But what managed to come up with a plan so we can escape. We decided to go to the bowling alley, and then Yoshi told me to stay with him, and he told me that his plan was that he'll basically give himself up so the other ones can escape. He basically didn't mind. He was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for my friend, totally. And meanwhile, we were going to actually go, Yoshi was going to actually give himself in, but then they basically called Callan because they found out, they were like, okay, he's the main boss, we gotta take him in, and they took him in. And then this security member was like, thanks, Yoshi. By doing that, he just made Callan lose all hope. With that, Callan thought that Yoshi actually planned this whole ordeal so he can basically be captured, but it was not true. The truth is, he was actually trying to actually give himself in so they can escape, but Callan did not understand the situation, he didn't know his plan, and he got basically thrown in prison, and he went through complete bullcrap. Like, if you see the anime, if you see what he went through, yeah, you will know why he barely has hope. He went through trash, man. Like, that guy just went through so much. But anyway, after all that, I went to my house, I took a nap, then I had a dream about someone calling me from the spirit world and telling me that a little girl is actually needing my help in the spirit world. I woke up immediately, was sweating like crazy. I went to tell Crow, and meanwhile I was talking with Crow, Sire was nearby and he heard us, and he was like, oh, you're connected with the spirit world, perfect. Now this is quite convenient. He basically came up to me, he used his psychic powers, brainwashed me, and with realizing that, I basically found out what actually had happened in the past. I was actually a friend with Yos and the other guys, and we basically were in satellite together. With all of that, I was taken to a room so I can basically nap and stuff, but then my consciousness faded into the spirit world. Now we got to chapter 3. Now, when I basically woke up in the spirit world. Now this whole place is kind of fun, and the cool thing is the puzzles. Like, I went through the first puzzle with any problem at all. Like, come on guys, I got like 1,000 level IQ here. I can totally go through that, no problem. I met up with a magician called Tarunka. She was like, I'm a magician and stuff, you don't believe me, and she brought my deck out. Now, you guys remember at the beginning of the game, I said there's actually 2 decks. Now, I'm gonna make this quick rule. I'm gonna say 2 things. First of all, I'm gonna implement a small rule where you can actually use both decks. And I'm gonna say the second thing is you don't have to worry about the first deck because it's gonna be gone in a matter of seconds. It's not gonna be there for that long. You're gonna basically play with the old deck through most of the game. Literally, the only time you're gonna use the deck you start with is at the beginning of the game, mostly at the prologue. And after that, you're just going to use your old deck. So just to clarify that, if you guys really want to know the whole thing, the whole gist of it. But with that, let's continue. After saving, Tarunka wanted to actually battle me to see how good I am. After that, I basically defeated him in the first try, barely didn't break a sweat. Now we get to one hard as heck fight that should not even be hard. So after meeting Tarunka told me that basically I'm not the only human in here. The other human that is actually in the spirit world is Luna, and I gotta help him out. So I told him, yeah, sure, why not? I got nothing better to do. I went to Zeman's castle, and I get to one of the most hardest fights I actually ever had up to this point. Is against a freaking monkey, a guard, and who's a monkey. And I'm like, wow. So this is how it went down. He was actually crazy strong. Like, he had a lot of good heavy hitters. He had monster cards with like 20,000 base attack, which is the most scariest thing ever in front of my like 17, 16, 15 monster cards with the most trash attack ever. And literally like only 2 of them can have like a good ability, depends on the circumstances. And now the thing that sucks even more about this part is after beating the guy after a while, I went inside, I saved, I went to where Luna's being held, I had to fight another monkey, I defeated that guy, then we all escaped, and then we had to go to the forest so we can save Regulus. But before that, we had to go through a puzzle, and the thing that sucks even more about this point, you guys know what happened? I lost my footage. All of that footage of me dueling that guy was just gone. That was 20 minutes of just footage, just gone. And at that point, I was pretty pissed off. And you guys might be like, oh, you're bringing excuses. No, I'm not. I wish I was. I wish, but I'm not making excuses. And for me, losing that footage was astronomically annoying. So I'm gonna just basically say, I don't even know how many times I lost against that guy because I lost some of the footage, so I didn't even know where I am at that point. So just to tell you guys all of that, so you guys can know how it actually went down and how things are right now. But with that, let's continue. After I stayed, we go against Regulus. I lost against him twice. The third time I came in and I won. And his deck isn't actually as strong as you might suspect. As long as you have a bigger heavy hitter than his, you're gonna be pretty much fine. And after beating him, he basically snapped out of the minus stab thing that was stuck between his legs. I don't even know how that happened. But he snapped out of it. He told us, oh, Zeman the 18 is doing something with Ancient Fairy Dragon and she's trapped with something. We gotta help and stuff. And I'm like, okay. But before all of that, Luna told us we gotta go back because there's something else happening in the wheel and then we gotta go. So we basically went back, but before we could go, Tarunka gave me a staff so you can actually use in the wheel so I can escape from where I'm basically being held, which is the creative movement. And with that, I basically woke up in the creative movement, I heard some banging. That was basically Carly. I helped her out, and when she went, she left a note on the ground saying that Jack and Rex Goodwin came from Satellite, which I'm wondering why. Is that something important? I don't even know. But with that, I went straight to Luna. I helped her out. Meanwhile, we were talking. Yosi came in. He was like, "Oh, hey, oh, you guys are okay?" He's like, "Wait, hey, why are you here? Why are you wearing the clothes and stuff?" And with that, we brought him in the room and we started explaining everything that happened. And he was like, "Whoa." After we talked with Yosi, basically gave me my old deck and the ID card so we can use the elevator so we can get out of here. And when I got an old deck, I was like. But I was like, nah, I can totally do this. With that, he went his way. Then Luna asked a favor for me to help her get her twin brother, which is Leo. With that, I basically went with her. We were near his brother's room, but then Sire came along. He was pretty much mad because we basically managed to get out. He doesn't know why. So what he did was he called the Mind Control Liquid and the Mind Control Okito to actually take us down. And you know what sucks about this whole tag duel thing? I accidentally used Luna's card, which is, you guys see on the screen right now. I accidentally used that card to destroy a face down card. And I gotta explain, I have a reason. Okay, I was in focus mode at that point. I was just crazy deep in the game because I went through a huge downward loss spiral there and then came up and started winning, and I was completely focus mode. So plus it was just a reaction. I just couldn't help it. It was just something that I did because I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force like a few minutes ago. So of course I'm gonna be like in that mojo right now. But that we defeated them in the first try. We defeated them both in the first try. After we defeated both Liquid and Okito, they basically snapped out of the brainwashing, and we told them what's going on. They were like, "Oh, whoa." So that would happen. Then Okito told us, "Okay, I got a plan. I'm gonna tell Sire that we captured you guys, so you guys can escape. And after we told them, we're gonna escape with you." Then the plan begun. They basically went their way. Then we basically went to save Leo, Luna's brother. He was like, "Oh, whoa, you look who is this guy? Why are you wearing those clothes?" And Luna told him, "Okay, no, he's fine. He's okay. He came to help me out." And Leo was like, "Oh, he looks strong. Let's battle and stuff." And Luna she got mad, and Leo was like, "Okay, understand. I mean, guys, never make a girl angry. That's terrifying." But basically, what happened was I took them to the elevator. Meanwhile, we were taking the elevator. Okito went to tell Sire that he captured us. And meanwhile they were talking, we basically got a glimpse of Carly laying on the ground. Now, this is actually how it went down. Wait, let me fix that. Now, this is actually how it went down. Yes, much better. Now, brought him down and helped him escape, and then I basically stayed so I could go help Yosei. I took the elevator, I went back up, and Sire was walking around. He was like, "How did you escape? I thought I captured you." And then he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna make sure I capture this time." So we dueled, and I freaking beat his ass. I was like, "Boy, if you don't..." And I destroyed him in an instant. He was barely a threat at all. I mean, come on. I got big brains, people. I got 1,000 IQ here, guys. I can totally beat him. After beating him, he was like, "Oh, I got a Hitomi card. I'm gonna throw fireballs at you." But thanks to Tarunka's wand, it basically deflects stuff and makes things opposite of each other. So I basically threw it back, and he basically fell unconscious. After I basically defeated Sire, I heard some commotion downstairs. There was basically Akiza, there was someone threatening her. So I decided to go back down to the first floor and to go help her out. Meanwhile, I was taking the elevator. We basically see Sire waking up, and then a new and improved Carly came along, and she was pretty mad about what Sire did to her. So what she did was, okay, she was like, "Let's duel again, but this time this is gonna be interesting." And Sire was like, "Ha, you think you can beat me?" And I just beat him with the most trash deck you can ever imagine. Like, if you just see that deck, you'll just barf. So he basically accepted. That was a dark duel, whatever you want to call it. He basically lost. And, well, Carly came back for her revenge. And you guys know what's funny? Karma. And you guys are gonna see Karma play back now. Now that's what I call karma retribution. Yes, clap people, we gotta clap hands for that. That was beautiful, and that's what I call your just deserves, man. Sai deserved all of that. After seeing Sai fell to his death, Yosei came to help Akiza get a hold of herself. But before all of that, we gotta get out of here. As we got out, Yosei asked me if Leo Luna escaped. I told him yeah, and then he told me it's better we go to Blister's apartment and to also get Akiza a doctor. After we get to Blister's apartment, Blister introduces himself and then asked a favor of me if I can basically bring a deck to Bootleg. So I took the deck, brought it to Bootleg, and then basically went back to Blister's apartment so I can go take a nap. At the middle of the night, I heard some strange noises outside, so I went to check it out and I found Yosei finding some people. He asked me to go help Akiza go check in her room because he feels something's wrong. So I went to her room and I found someone threatening her. So I intervened and I defeated the guy in the first try. After beating him, Akiza started to act really strange, and in that moment I remember that I have to duel her, and this time it's mandatory for me to win. But by some miracle, I managed to lose only once and beat her on the second try. Beating her, she basically stepped out of it. After that, Yosei told Akiza something life-changing. I really didn't actually pay attention to what he said. Then we met with Jack and his assistant. She was like, oh, Goodwin is calling for you guys because something's happening, like we already don't know. We met with Goodwin, he was like, okay, so Destiny and stuff, and I was like, okay. But for me to go help these guys out, I need my Duron out, or my Duron is basically at the bad area where I was basically in the past. And when we got there, Yosei told me to go meet up with Crow to tell him I'm alive and stuff, and I'm actually breathing because he's pretty much worried. So I went there, talked to him, and he was like, oh wow, whoa, you okay? Dude, what happened? And then we told him everything. It was like, wow, that's crazy. And after that, we basically went to get my Duron. Then I actually went with Crow so I can get my Duron back. He basically had it hidden for me. Thank God, that guy is amazing. After getting my Duel Runner, he was like, okay, let's try out how good you are at Turbo Duel, so, because he wanted to try it out, and my God, the deck in this Duel Runner is amazing. I have amazing cards in this deck. I prefer this. The good thing is, I'm gonna use this deck for most of the game, until some point where I have to actually use my deck, but not the Turbo deck. But the Turbo Duel deck, it's oh my God, it's so good. It's way better than the deck that I have right now. Oh my God, I'm so happy for this. But anyway, I basically managed to beat Crow on the first try. I wish it was basically a duel except for the Turbo Duel. But anyway, after beating him, I went to talk with Yosei, and then we met up with Cal, who came from the dead, and he looks pretty mad. Now, Yosei was trying to tell him what the heck happened in the past, but Cal is like, no, shut up. And then he just pulled a disappearing act. He basically just walked up a ledge. You guys can see that, right? He just disappeared, like, what? But anyway, after all of that, we met up with Jack, and then he told us that Carly basically told them we gotta meet at the tower, where whatever that is. I don't even pay attention to what's going on. And then Misaki came along and she told us basically another love siren called her, and all three of us are gotta go there, basically me too, so all four of us. But before all of that, Luna told me, oh, the spirit is in danger, we gotta go back fast because things are getting serious. So he basically went there. We met up with Torunka, and he told us, oh, Dragos got captured and stuff, so I gotta go help him out. I basically went straight to the castle, and the puzzle in this room is actually way easier than you think. You gotta first of all basically get all three of the regular staff and then go counterclockwise until you reach the third of the torches, which is the number 3 one on the left. No wait, to the right. Yeah, you gotta turn all three of those first, then go to the middle one, turn that one, and then just basically go counterclockwise again, and then you basically open the door. It's actually way easier than you think, and you guys are seeing on the screen, it's not as hard as you might think. But anyway, we get to Zemandave King's room. Now we go through a cutscene, stuff happens, and there's a whole rule here where we each take 500 damage because of our regular staff. And I gotta tell you guys one thing about this whole duel. Actually pretty decently, but the whole way to get here is crazy annoying. Now let me explain you guys. After you lose against Zeman, you know what happens? You gotta go all the way from your save. And when you go to your save, you gotta go through the clock puzzle. Then you go through that, you gotta go through a cutscene. Then if you lose again, you gotta do it the whole thing over and over. And it didn't happen to me because I use save states, because I'm not gonna go through that kind of hell. And I'm just saying this for you, anyone who's basically trying to do this on like our DS or something and they don't want to use loads or save states, basically be ready and have patience, because it will happen to you and it becomes extremely annoying. There's not even a save in his room, and I'm like, why? And the thing that annoys me even more, there's like no continue button. Like, oh, let me see, I went in his room. Oh yeah, I lost. Oh, let's just pop the continue button. The moment I went in, that was an automatic save. But I think automatic saves didn't exist at that point. But still, it's kind of dumb. They didn't put a freaking save in his room. And for me, I kind of feel annoyed about that, because not for me mostly. For anyone who was basically funny against him and went through that kind of crap. And it makes me pissed because I really don't want to see someone go through that kind of crap. That's why I want to tell you guys this. before you try to do this challenge so you can be ready just in case anything happens. But I'm just using save state, so I'm not gonna go through that kind of hell. But with that, I basically lost against him 4 times. I beat him the 5th time. And you know what sucks even more too? I almost beat him on one small occasion. If I only summon one monster card that I had in my hand. You guys are seeing the screen right now, that monster card. If I summoned him, I could have totally won that whole duel. I could have just won, but man, I didn't pay attention. I was pretty much mad, and I basically lost at that point. But anyway, after beating him, go through another cutscene. Regulus does something to Zen. I don't know, I didn't pay attention. The Ancient Fairy Dragon pops out. She's like, oh, thanks for helping me and stuff. She told Luna that her brother is fighting against Devak. So we got to where Leo was fighting Devak. We helped him out, and me and Luna basically tag team against Devak. Devak was like, oh, I can beat you guys because I have an Earth-Burning Mortal. And I'm like, bro, this isn't 2020. If it was 2020, I'll be scared. This is 2010. I'm not scared. So he defeated him in the first try. After defeating him, Luna basically sealed the tower or something. I don't know, I didn't pay attention. Then Chudge came along and he asked, what was that weird light. We told him it was basically Luna sealing the tower or something. I don't know, I didn't pay attention that much. And then he asked if Leo's fine. Leo was like, yeah, I'm fine. But then he was like, nah, I'm pretty actually damaged. I took a lot of hits. Chudge took Leo and Luna basically back. And I stayed in so I can go help all of the other signers. Now, when I was walking, I met up with Krager. And my god, guys, this fight was easy. I almost freaking won. I was so close. You know what happened? First of all, I had a monster card that can do piercing damage, and if it destroys the face down defense version monster card or a defense version monster card, it can basically attack twice. And I had Flame Wheel Granica, who could basically, if it pops something on the field, it can give them damage. And I was like, bro, I can totally win. But because of his Earthbound Immortal, now, first of all, the whole thing is you have to wait for him to actually summon his Earthbound Immortal. So he basically summoned it pretty fast. I was like, yeah, thank God I don't have to wait that much. And because thanks to his Earthbound Immortal being able to attack me directly, he won. And I was like, no, because if I had one more turn, I would have immediately won. But I didn't win. But don't worry, guys, I basically came in the second round and I freaking whooped him because I'm a freaking badass or something. But after beating him, I got a glimpse of Yosei fighting against Callan, so I gotta go help him out. I went to where Yosei was basically standing with his dual runner because it was damaged. And Callan was like, oh, are you ready, Yosei? Let's continue. But since his dual runner was damaged, I told him I'm gonna basically take care of Callan for him. So I went up against Callan, and his rule was I gotta start the duel with no cards in my hand, which is a crazy good adventure for him because he uses Infinity monster cards that love having no cards in the hand. But you guys cannot believe, thanks to the heart of the cards, I won on my first try. It was the most craziest thing I've ever seen. I draw a trash card, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna lose. I draw, like, after that one terrible draw, I draw a lot of good cards, and I was like, what? I'm winning, and I just completely overwhelmed him. I basically managed to clutch that duel and won, and I was like, yes, yes, heart of the cards. So guys, believe in the heart of the cards. It always comes through. But anyway, we go against Carly. She was waiting for Jack, but I was there before him, so she was like, okay, let's duel. But she made a rule where you can only draw 2 cards, and I was like, yes, this is gonna be a really fun duel. And I actually lost against the first time. The second time I won, but you know what's funny, guys? I defeated her with Swordsman of Landstar. Like, Joey would be proud of me. Like, Joey would be proud. I'm just happy that happened. After beating her, Jack basically came in his fashion. Oh, wait, guys. Wait, forgot to say this. I don't have footage for this because my phone turned off again. But you know what's actually convenient? I made a playthrough of this game, so I can just grab some clips and just put that in the video. Oh, isn't that just convenient? But anyway, after he basically did his amazing grand gesture, he basically came in and he was like, okay, Carl, I'm gonna fight you. Don't worry, E, I'm gonna basically handle it for you. I went to basically where Akiza was fighting against another dark signer. I still don't remember her name. I never actually paid attention to her name. When she was fighting, Akiza started to act really strangely, and then I got a glimpse of Sire, who's like, oh, perfect. This is going according to my plan. And when I saw him, I got pissed because if I was in that Yu-Gi-Oh universe, I would just sock him in the face right then and there. But anyway, he got mad because what I did to him. I mean, of course I'm gonna stop an evil doer. So I basically dueled against him. He beat me twice, which I freaking hate so much. He beat me twice in a row. But I managed to beat him the third time. Lucky me. After beating him, he was like, oh, I don't care. I have Akiza. I can beat anyone. So he ran towards Akiza. I followed him. And then I met her with Jack's assistant. I can't remember her name. She told me Akiza started to act weird when she just saw him. And we can just see Sire's like, ha 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 ha. This is going perfectly. Then I told Jack's assistant what Sire actually did to Misty's brother, which Misty heard and she was like, wait, what? Who killed my brother? And Saya was like, those cheddar boxes. And he was like, yeah, I killed your brother, so what? Now I'm like standing there, I'm like, bro, you didn't remember what Carly did to you? You almost died. You should have died. And he's like, nah, I mean, an Everybody Mortal in my face, nah, I'm fine. She's not gonna hurt me. And she just basically popped an Everybody Mortal and disintegrated him. Just boom, he's just gone. He's just dead. After that, Misty was like, yes, I finally got my revenge back. She was trying to pass on, but the Everybody Mortal was like, no, my main goal is to just take down the signers, so I'm gonna stay here. So basically after that, Misty told Akiza to basically go back because she can't control herself anymore, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna jump in. I went up against her, and her rule is I cannot change the monster cards, their position, so if they're in defense, can't change defense, attack, I can't change it, so it's gotta be there. And it was pretty actually a decent duel. I was pretty scared of Everybody Mortal because that thing had a boosted attack and it could have killed me in 2 hits, but thanks to like the heart of the cards and stuff, I managed to win on the first try. After beating her, Misty tells Akiza, oh, don't worry, I'm sorry for everything I did. And Akiza's like, don't worry, everything's fine. I don't hate you and everything. And then she just passes on, and then Akiza steals one of the other radio towers. I just call them radio towers because I don't even know what they're called. After Akiza did her stuff, we basically see Jack holding Carly after a huge duel. You can even see his duel got damaged. Basically, he was holding her, they were talking, a whole sentimental moment happened. It was beautiful, but she basically died. Not true. Anyway, after all of that, he basically sealed the last of the towers, and now all of them are sealed. But Roman, Goodwin's brother, was like, oh, you guys sealed them all, but oh, you're too late because it took too much time. The king of the underworld is still gonna come. So I basically went towards him. He was like, oh, you think you can beat me? Okay, let's see if you can beat me then. You gotta beat me in 20 turns or crap will hit the fan and we're just all dead. And I'm like, okay. I beat him in about 10 turns. The first try, I was like, yes. After beating him, he was like, oh wow, you're pretty strong. I didn't know this was gonna happen. Then Yosef came along. He was like, okay, what's going on? He was like, oh, I was waiting for you, Yosef, but looks like I lost here. He was like, but still, the king of the underworld is gonna come, and all you guys are just gonna basically die. So yeah, I just still won. After that, he basically disappeared. Yosef's thunder rock just shined, and then we just teleport towards Goodwin's mansion. Meanwhile, that was happening. We basically see Goodwin just walking ominously towards the tower we saw in the first game. I popped up on Goodwin's mansion with Akiza and Jack's assistant. After we were talking for a second there, sorry for butcher his name, I just say Lazar, basically was like, oh, you guys came here, wow, you're pretty capable, but you gotta beat me first so I can just see if you're capable enough to continue on. And this fight, no, first of all, this guy took me an hour, a legit hour. You guys wanna see the timestamps? I got 3 videos. One was 30 minutes, one was basically 25 minutes, and one was 10 minutes. The 30 and 7 minutes I lost, I don't even know how many times I lost because first of all, this guy, you might be like, oh, he's strong and stuff, he has to be really powerful. This guy has just a huge defensive deck. It really loves defending so much, and you gotta be careful because if you go all in, you're just gonna get fudged in the butt. So you gotta basically figure out a strategy. So the thing that I did was mostly just set up a board of like a strong monster cards, waiting for an opening, and then attack. And after an hour of just going through that whole crap, I managed to beat him, and I was like, yes. So guys, I'm telling you right now, be prepared for this guy. Be well prepared because things can go south fast, and I mean really, really fast. I didn't even know his deck was burn deck. I didn't even know he had a burn deck. I didn't even know that. So just be prepared because things are gonna go south really fast, guys. But anyway, after all of that, now we get to the final part of the game against Goodwin. Now basically we met up with Goodwin. He was like, oh, you guys finally came, and then he was like, oh, I'm a Darksider 2 and stuff, I want to take over the world. And I'm like, okay. But me and Yoshi didn't actually like that, so we basically tried to stop him, and he was like, okay, so if you want to stop me, you gotta chase me down. So we went through a race, we caught up to him, and then he was like, okay, if you guys still want to stop me, then you gotta beat me in a duel and stuff. So there's basically 3 duels against him. The first one is basically me and Yoshi against him, a tag duel, so basically 2v1, but he starts with about 16,000 life points. The first time we actually lost against him, we got super close to of winning, and the second time we basically won because of pure odds. After beating him, he basically was like, oh wow, you guys are strong. And then he basically rips off his arm and puts an arm that has like one of the Crimson Dragon marks on it. So he basically has the power of a Sider and the power of a Darksider now. So he's pretty much like a god And then me and Yoshi were like, okay, we can still beat it and stuff, but Yoshi's dual armor was basically pretty much damaged. He couldn't do a thing. And I was like, I'm gonna handle this guy. So basically, I went up to him and we dueled. We went through a turbo duel. I basically lost the first time and I won the second time. I was pretty close to winning the first time, but the second time I basically won either way. After beating him, I was like, okay, I think I'm finished. Then the third one came in. I was like, oh crap, a third duel. And you guys know what's funny about this whole duel? Meanwhile, that was happening, like Cars 2 was playing on my TV, and I was like, oh my god, dude, this is my favorite Cars movie. I want to watch that. And I was like super focused on like trying to beat him as fast as possible so I can basically watch the movie. It finished just a few minutes ago, but that was basically my main intention of beating him. And I basically beat him on the first try. After beating him, he basically realizes that like, oh, I need friendship so I can basically win. So that was what was missing and stuff. Because at the end of the day, it could be freaking a god or something. Like, well, in real life terms, actually, if you're a god, yeah, you're pretty much untouchable. So guys, can you beat Yu-Gi-Oh! 5DS Reverse of Arcadia with just your starter deck? Yes, you can. If it wasn't for that one super starter deck training you gotta do in the Arcadia movement, you can pretty much go through the whole game without actually like cheating at all. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe and have a nice day.